Welcome back. As many people return to the office after so many changes over the past couple of years, there are some things that employers need to consider, and especially moms that are returning, some for the first time in a couple of years. Here to tell us more about this is Dr. Dana Sumpter, Associate Professor from Pepperdine. Dr. Sumpter, thanks for being here today. How are you?
Good, thanks, Christine. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
So what are some things that people need to consider as they are returning back to the workforce? So many things have changed, but especially for women who are going back for the first time.
Definitely some changes and some challenges, right? Working moms and other kinds of caregivers too, I would say, right, that we're continuing to experience. One of the first challenges I would note is scheduling, right? That returning to the office means creating new schedules, maybe reintroducing a commute, figuring out a new family schedule. And when you're talking about two partners, that means two new schedules to coordinate. So we're again rewriting the script of who does what around the house, who's going to do the kids' pickups and drop-offs, and all that is a lot to manage. I would say also there's this lingering uncertainty around childcare and schooling. I know I'm not the only one who's had kids who had to stay home more often than usual because of a simple runny nose. That means a couple days at home, until the kids' symptoms are gone, negative COVID tests and all that. So that can disrupt our work plans for days, which didn't used to be that way. So this is one of the many reasons why COVID has had an outsized impact on women and their careers and really continues to do so.
And any tips to help this return to work go more seamless?
Yeah, that is the goal, right? So I think my first suggestion would be to be really clear about your availability. One of the biggest changes that we've experienced while working remotely is being more available. In my research on working mothers during COVID, a lot of them talked about shifting their work hours, waking up early before the kids just to get a few precious minutes of uninterrupted work time. So now that we're returning to the office, be really proactive about when you want your work hours to be and let others know when you need to be off the clock. I think also a suggestion would be to try to focus on the positive and reclaim the joy of being back in person, right? A lot of us have kind of gotten out of the mode of that, but this is the opportunity to really reconnect with people. I myself, as a professor, right, I stepped into the classroom for the first time in 2 years recently, and it was awesome. I almost forgot that energy of being with my students again. So there are benefits to going back, especially for your career, relationship building, better access to top clients and projects, innovation. You can't do a lot of that over Zoom. So schedule that lunch out. You're not only investing in your well-being, but also in your career networking opportunities.
What can organizations and businesses do to help with this transition? They may not completely understand everyone's unique circumstances or be able to relate, but at the same time, they want to be able to help all of their employees who are returning understand that there is some flexibility options, and what else can they do?
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head, Christine. It really, we don't necessarily know the experiences of people who have had different circumstances than us, right? As a person with young kids during COVID, I often thought boy, it'd be nice to be alone, but really not understanding the depth of isolation and loneliness that single adults experienced during that time. So we all are coming from a different place. So that's why it's all the more important for companies to really keep their finger on the pulse of how reentry is going for their folks. Listen. Pay attention to how your folks are doing. Have those scheduled one-on-ones, conduct pulse check surveys, seek feedback. These are ways that managers and leaders can anticipate where there might be problems and understand how to best support their people. That means also paying attention to people in their holistic nature, right? It's not just about what's happening at work anymore. Managers and leaders have to care and pay attention to how employees are doing outside of the workplace, attending to their well-being. So this means support policies, providing structured opportunities for people to interact, maybe right-sizing performance expectations. These are ways managers can provide that support. And I think also talking up the positives of coming back. Nobody likes to be forced to do anything. So think about how you can attract people back to the office. Talk up how valuable it will be to collaborate with colleagues and then set up ways to make those interactions happen. And that will help folks feel more at ease with some of the trade-offs that they have to make.
Any resources available to help with this transition?
Sure. I think with any transition, it's really important to pay attention to our mental health. So, NAMI.org, NAMI.org. It's a great resource for information. Contact your healthcare provider as needed. And, second, I'm obviously very biased as a professor, but I think considering a higher degree is a way to jumpstart or revitalize a career or steer it in a new direction. So getting an MBA, master's in management and leadership, or other fields, those are great avenues towards those goals.
You're a professor, an associate professor of organizational theory and management. How are things changing for you right now? You said you recently returned to the classroom and are really enjoying that energy that you'd kind of forgotten about.
Yeah, that's so true. Yet it also helped me appreciate what I really liked about teaching and working remotely as well. So it's just very complex, Christine. I think we all are different. For my research on working mothers during COVID, some of them were desperate to get back to the office, to be able to have that separation between work and home. That a commute for some of them was life-giving because they were able to have a transition between the two domains of their lives. For others, they wanted to keep working at home for as long as they possibly could. There were just benefits to their doing so and a lot more trade-offs that they had to make in returning to the office. So this is the thing, right? We all are very different. We're coming from different places. We have different family situations, different job requirements. And so all the more reason why managers need to really pay attention and listen to how their folks are doing and, kind of soak in any information and data that they can to help guide how they develop policies.
And where can we get more information about everything we've talked about today?
Sure. So I think paying attention to the research that's happening, there's a lot of folks in my field doing great research on these topics. For my organization, the website is bschool.pepperdine.edu. That's where you can find the Pepperdine Graziadio Business School's centers and faculty profiles that share the cutting edge research that I and others are doing in managing the return to work and on the future of work.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Dana Sumpter. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today. Thank you for being here virtually from Pepperdine, talking about this transition to work and especially the challenges that working women face as they return to the office. We'll be back with more on this Business Wednesday right after this.